Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is Phoenix Act and welcome. Okay, so I know we are currently in the middle of a playthrough of Soul Hackers 2, but I thought since we're now in October and the lead up to Halloween, we would do a game a little more fitting with the season, which is this, Alone in the Dark, the remake of the 90s classic of the same name, a game that came out earlier this year, which I thought was unfortunately a little overlooked. Hopefully I can show you why with this playthrough. So anyway, let's get into it. I have already played this a bit before, so that's why I'm saying it was overlooked, because I enjoyed it. So without any further ado, let's get into it. We'll go with standard and we'll go with old school to see if I can remember what the solutions to the puzzles actually are and see if I can figure them out if I don't.
So, your uncle. What's wrong with him?
He's possessed.
As in the devil?
Something like that. He says a dark man is following him, watching him at all times.
What do you make of it?
It's nonsense, of course, but I'd be lying if I said it didn't bother me. You see, it runs in my family.
Possession?
No, Detective. Deteriorating melancholy. Practically every member of the Hartwood family is driven mad before they grow old.
But Jeremy didn't kill himself. Is that why he's at your setup?
Despite being convinced that he is truly possessed, he decided to put his last chips on Dr. Gray and his psychoanalysis, figuring he might stumble upon some cure.
You mentioned the letter.
I received a disturbing letter from Jeremy accusing the staff and all the other patients of being involved in some cult. And now they are also out to get him.
Could it be real? Or is it all just in his head?
It's a story he tells himself, Mr. Carnby. Anything to avoid the truth.
Which is?
That we're all terribly insignificant. That people mean so very little to one another. That there is no one out to get Jeremy Hartwood because he isn't worth getting.
Here we are.
My uncle's not well, Mr. Carnby. I want to make sure he's all right.
Then what's my part in this? You couldn't get a cab?
I just wouldn't feel safe going alone. Did you bring a gun?
Yeah. You think it'll actually come to that?
No. But you might need to wave it around depending on how agreeable the staff will be.
What exactly are we gonna do when we find Jeremy?
I don't know. Let's just find him first.
And here we go, we choose our character. One of this game's strong suits, in my opinion, is the setting, the way it's all set up. It's obviously not the most sort of graphically powerful game out there, but I think the way, I use this term a lot, but the aesthetics are very good, in my opinion. They work perfectly well. Anyway, for the purposes of this, I am going to choose Emily Hartwood. Because I want to. Right, so we'll go with Emily.
so quiet? Where is everyone?
This is a big place. Maybe they're on the other side of the house.
Stay here. I'll have a look.
Ah, yes, breaking and entering, always a wise decision. We're already in the house. What are you talking about? Anyway, yes, as you can see, this takes its cues a lot from the recent Resident Evil remakes, which isn't a bad thing. You know, this happens a lot in gaming, where, you know, certain games start a trend, and, you know, that becomes the sort of template for that genre of game for a while. Just like Silent Hill and Resident Evil back in the 90s. Anyway, the first thing we have to do is get the flashlight. Very important. I don't think the game will let us move on without it anyway, but even if it did, it wouldn't be a bad idea. It wouldn't be a great idea to go on without it. Yeah, there you go. Flashlight on and off. I do like the how utterly, like, even though Cornby is just outside there, we feel already utterly cut off with how silent and stuff it is. And then there's the run. Flashlight. I do like this. Ooh, what was that? Spooky sounds. Anyway, let's use the key we just found. I'm sure I must have passed some items up there, but I'm not going back to get them. We should be fine. Well, I say that. Look at the bucket down there. It looks at first glance that's a cat, but we get closer and the eyes just vanish, just gone completely. It's great. Statues. Literally the first time I played this game, I actually thought that statue there was a person, like another character, and we were going to get spotted or something.
No,
Anyway.
I don't think I'll be able to get in there.
Can't get in there yet. I will acknowledge, obviously, that when this game came out, it wasn't the most optimized, even on console. Like, there were a couple of bugs that hampered the experience, which is probably why it didn't do so well. But I still enjoyed my time with it the first time round. Oh, and what's down here? A bucket with something in it. Well, we'll just... Can't get it now anyway, so we'll save it. Save it for later. Let's keep that in mind as we proceed deeper into the manor. Yeah, I really like what they've done, because obviously there wasn't much... the manor in the first game, there wasn't much in the original Alone in the Dark. There wasn't much.
This must be older than yourself. They've built the house around it.
Well, that's very strange, isn't it? If you've played the original, you probably have some indicators where the plot is going, because even though it's expanded on the original plot greatly, it's still got the same basics. But yeah, like adding extra like some of the stuff they've done, like adding extra characters to the mansion, because originally I don't think there were any extra characters or interactions with any characters at all. In the original you got to Deserto Manor, which was just a manor people lived in, not a mental hospital like it is in this one. And the owner is already dead, and there's no one else around but the monsters, so you don't really interact with anyone. There isn't even any interaction between Emily and Carnby in the original, because I don't think they ever... Oh, we need to find a key, I guess. Or unless we're supposed to go up this way, but I think we are supposed to find a key. Because I don't think they ever appear Emily and Carnby don't ever appear in the same playthrough in the original. Like, if you pick one, whichever character you're playing as, the original just never shows up. Oh, is it over here? Yes, it is. I'd quite forgotten where that was. So let's, now that we've got our key, let's head onwards through here. Yeah, this is only the prologue section, so it won't be this simple carrying on. You know, you're not going to get, like, once we're past the prologue, you're not going to really get situations where you grab a key and use it, I can't find my words, use it immediately. Not usually anyway, so.
I'll just take this.
Yep, we've broken and entered, so we might as well just take things. But yeah, that was a health drink. It's how we restore our health in this game. Yeah, I prefer it that way, using health items instead of regenerating health. What have we got here? Ooh, the family Bible.
Every day your silence weighs a little heavier. It's been a difficult year for everyone, and many have lost all hope. I read in the papers about people suffering. Pictures of dust-covered landscapes without a drop of water. I wish I knew if you were still tending the earth or if you had turned your back against us. I have started to look for help elsewhere. I pray you will tell me if I am going down a path that you find disagreeable. With help from Baptiste and Charlotte, I found comfort in the practice of the voodoo. I have long been skeptical of that Caribbean cult, but it's been of good use to me. It seems all harmless in my book. I say some words dreamt up by the Creoles, and I carry around a small pocket of gris-gris. Nothing of this is mentioned in the Bible, of course, but the French Quarter priestess tells me it's all connected. She says the Christian God is just one more perspective on the creator of things. That's what I like to think, but the other way around, that the spirits of her faith are just aspects of you, our Heavenly Father. I am so grateful for the words you gave Mr. Hartwood. We will sing your praises at St. John's Eve. The world will be blessed soon again. Only the sacrifices of the Old Testament compare to your demands. Let it be the truth. A mother of earth, wood, and dirt. A mother of 1,000 young.
Sacred sand, $1. Black cat oil, $1.50. Devil shoestrings, $0.25. That makes $2.75, madame.
What was that you were telling the doctor? A goat without horns. What does that mean?
Ah, you must have misheard me, madame. I said no such thing.
Please, I know I don't look like any of you, but I'm devout. I'm ready to do what it takes.
Do not be so eager to sacrifice the few things you have left, madame. Now please, leave my store.
A goat without horns.
Pretty sure that's I mean, even leaving out the voodoo stuff, the whole bit about the goat without horns, and the bit which got a bit crazy about making sacrifices and stuff. I'm pretty sure that's not quite standard. But you know, we'll see where this goes. But it's suddenly Jeremy's talks about cults don't seem quite so crazy. Like I said, it's not even the voodoo, it's the bit at the end where she's talking about sacrifices and stuff that seems a bit strange. What we got here? More bullets. Even though I think I passed some up before, I am going to grab as many as I can. I don't understand why there's bullets in the kitchen. You know, in the kitchen cabinets, though. Why? Who stores? Unless, you know, you distribute bullets all over the place just in case you get, you know, because you never know. You're paranoid and you fear you could get attacked at any time, so you hide ammunition all over the place, just so there's always some nearby. Maybe that's what's going on. I mean, if there's actual cults, dangerous cults about, then yeah, maybe I could see that. And this is locked. Oh no, it's not. I thought it was locked, but it's not. Yay. Over here. See, I really like the use of sound in this one as well. I think it's a bit like, I think some people would find it a bit cheesy, but I like all the
key.
yes we do and we don't have it. Oh well. I think it actually uses sound better than the Resident Evil games do. That's one thing. That is the one thing, because overall, obviously, the Resident Evil games are better, the recent ones. But overall, overall they're better. But I do think there are some things this one beats them at.
Please do not touch the boiler. It is working after all. While the sabotage has caused a leak, only the decorative plate has been completely ruined. Let's wait for Mr. Chance to turn up and he can take a look at the leak. Mr. Waits.
Well, there we go. I also like that the notes are voiced. Well, actually, no. Maybe it might be better.
There's something missing.
Yeah, the valve.
Huh.
And there's a plate there. That must be the broken plate he was talking about. I was about to say I thought it was better with the notes voiced, but actually I don't. Actually, I think it would be better. It'd be more cryptic if the notes weren't voiced just slightly, so we wouldn't get like such a clear indication of the tone the characters were writing in, which would make it, more fitting to a horror title, I think. Sunlight, yay! We're out of the basement. But maybe that's just me. This one? And this is a bathroom. Let me guess, bullets hidden in there. Are they? No. Surprising. Okay, so there's nothing in here yet. Alright. Part of this is me being deliberately, misleading, but others is I haven't played this since, it came out in spring. So, well, near the beginning of the year anyway. Oh. The map. Yay. And a key. Excellent.
Oh, what's this?
It's a map and a key. Nope, the medicine box we can't get into yet. But yeah, I haven't played this since the beginning of the year when it came out, so I haven't, I don't remember everything. We're just going to rifle through someone's stuff, as you do. We are the protagonist of a video game.
Sunday, June 22nd. I spent all day looking for Jeremy. I should have cared for the others, but I'm scared that he will do something irreversible. Cassandra is upset that I didn't give her the latest shipment of pain medication that Waits brought from the post office yesterday. I would have given it to her, but the company didn't send a new key this time around, so the box is just sitting there on my desk. They must have figured we had plenty of their gimmicky keys by now. I only remember seeing one lately. Grace was playing with it inside the grand parlor. Unless it turns up by itself, it will have to wait. I have to figure out where Jeremy is. I think Jack knew something. That dog of his found a strange rot permeating the house. She's showing us, he said. Like those blots and streaks of fetid rot was talking to him.
Okay, so the mold speaks. That's concerning. That's just a crack in the wall. Moldy old mansion. Yep, there we go. We open the map. So, which way was it? Which door was it? Was it this one? It was indeed. I think the other door leads to the... Oh, why don't we check the map? The other door leads to the library, yes. There we go. Ooh. It's a bit broken there. Should be careful, or someone could take a nasty spill. And this leads into this sort of waiting area for the doctor's office.
The Great Depression. President Hoover raises tariffs on over 20,000 imported goods in an act to protect American labor. Following the collapse of the Wall Street stock market on October 24 last year, American industry has suffered greatly. Thousands of companies have gone bankrupt and left a large part of the American workforce unemployed. In an attempt to turn the tide, the Smoot-Hawley Tariff Act has been signed by President Herbert Hoover. By regulating commerce with foreign countries, the government hopes to encourage the industries of the United States to compete with cheap foreign imports. Superstition on rise. New Orleans voodoo stores and spiritual mediums see increased profit during troubled times. While the market has faced hard times ever since Black Thursday of last year, voodoo doctors and snake charmers see significant rise in number of customers. With the coming Eve of St. John on the 23rd, the police expect increased cult activity around Bayou St. John, the southern shore of Lake Pontchartrain. Voodoo rituals in that area on the Eve of St. John have a long tradition reaching back to the first snake worshippers brought as slaves from West Africa. During the 19th century, its practice was popularized by the legendary Marie Laveau and has since been embraced by many of the Creoles and the surviving aristocracy of the French Quarter. Author seeks asylum. Rumors regarding author Cassandra Beauregard making Derceto her home verified. Derceto Hospital is an old plantation building on the eastern shores of Lake Pontchartrain. While often considered an asylum for the insane, residing Dr. Elmore Lee Gray prefers to think of it as a convalescent home, a place where you can go to rest. The patient list is kept secret, but thought to include many of the black sheep of wealthy families, because at Derceto, treatment does not come for free. Local author Cassandra Beauregard has now been confirmed by her own admission. She's been lauded as a powerful Creole voice and written many successful books. Lately it was reported from Hollywood that she has finished a moving picture manuscript titled Slaughter Gulch. That film is set to hit the theaters next year.
An attempt was made to do a voice there. I mean, it wasn't a bad attempt, in all honesty, but it wasn't, I guess it just wasn't what I would have gone with. And there's no one there. And we need a key. Okay. How about here? What's in here? Ah, yes, and this is, well, this is the actual waiting room, and this is, I believe, the doctor's office. You know, the office belonging to the guy in charge. Where are we? Yep, doctor's office. There you go. So that's no good to us yet. Light switches, I think we need to remember those. There's one thing that's disappointing in this is that, I mean, I get it was a low budget, so it probably wasn't a possibility, but is that in this, basically, Carnby and Emily go through the exact same plot.
Wait, don't.
Excuse me? Do you know where I can find Jeremy Hartwood?
Of course not.
McCarthy, what are you doing? I told you not to lose sight of the girl.
Don't you worry, Mags. I'll find that little rascal.
Who are you people? What are you doing here?
I'm sorry about all this, but I'm looking for my uncle. His name is Jeremy Hartwood.
What are you doing, child? You shouldn't be alone. Go find McCarthy.
Who are you? Are you here for the Fay Dodo?
Go upstairs now.
My name is Emily Hartwood. I'm the niece of Jeremy Hartwood. This is Detective Carnby.
The police? Why are you here?
No, I'm a private investigator. Sorry to bother you. My client's worried about her uncle. He's a patient here at Derceto. If you don't mind, could you direct us where to find him?
No, I can't. Jeremy has gone missing. If you leave your information, I will make sure to contact you.
Wait, he ran away?
No, he won't leave the house. He's around here somewhere, and both of our orderlies are looking for him.
That's unacceptable. Where's Dr. Gray? I want to speak with him immediately.
Fine, I'll ask him. Wait here and don't touch anything.
Do you want to see Jeremy's room?
Can you show us?
Follow me.
Thank you. Strange kid.
Let's look around, see what we can find.
Right, so since Grace has so kindly showed us to Jeremy's room, I suppose we should turn the flashlight off. We don't need it at the moment. We should take a look around. But as I was saying, one thing I was disappointed by was if the first Alone in the Dark game I played was actually the New Nightmare on PS1. And that had different paths through the game depending on whether you picked which character you picked at the beginning. This doesn't. You go, no matter which character you pick, you go through the exact same plot, the exact same plot points and everything. So, but you know that I suppose that's just most games. Well, it reflects. Oh, it does reflect me. There we go. Actual reflections in a video game. I will be darned. I will be damned. It's need a key to open this trunk. Yeah, that's something you don't get very often, actual reflections. I mean, doesn't look fantastic, but it's better than, it's more than most do, so. Oddly enough, it always seems to be the lower budget titles that do that. Like, if you've ever played an RPG called Trails of Cold Steel, that's not got the budget of a Final Fantasy or even a Tales of game, but it still has reflections where those games don't. It's weird that the lower budget games seem to be the only ones that can actually manage reflections like that.
Every night the dark man stands opaque at the threshold of my room, counting the days until my spirit spills out of my tired shape. Only his pallid mask shelters my remaining sanity. Staring directly into the face of that demonic sultan would surely sunder time itself. Would he have looked the same to my father as he struggled for his life? Does his veiled face haunt my niece quite the same way? I wish so that I could rest my soul in that sunburnt convent of Teruel. Would I find you there, Juan? Or Senora Pirosi, back from the beyond? Every night I hide from him, moving from one misshapen memory to another. Scenes conjured out of fantasy and delirium. Places I struggle to even paint. I wish I understood your death, Senora. Is there anything I could do for you but bury you in that bleak necropolis? That triumphant chapel rising above the ledges and the oven vaults shall be your sepulchre, where you may rest, and I shall weep.
I guess we're not getting the voiceover for the other pages, so I will attempt to take over. I won't be doing the accent. I don't think I could do it properly without coming off like a cartoon, so. How did you first come to understand such things, Senora? How did you know that the battered boiler in the basement would lead me to Lafayette Cemetery? Or how the old upstairs clock with its astronomical motifs would take me to that hateful mound outside of Claremont Harbor? Those are my memories, my past. Is there perhaps a chance, if ever so small, for me to see Taruella? I want that more than anything. Let my talisman take me there. Let me sit with one under his Bodhi tree. Despite having sold me that talisman, Miss Jackson, the voodoo priestess revealed none of her secrets to me. That's why I had to travel to Tonkra. Instead, she cruelly told Baptiste, my caretaker, that he would be betrayed and killed in the most frightful way, that the one he loved would pierce his thighs with a sharp spear, and that he would be devoured by his own mother. What a terrible thing to say. The people of Deserto are becoming dangerous. They do not understand what they are doing. I must do something to stop them. I tried talking to Dr. Gray, but he confuses my worries. He is caught up in treating me. How can he expect evil to be cured with medicine and conversation? The orderlies, the housekeeper, and the patients are all deranged. They will call upon evil to enter this world. All will be lost, everything. Unless I can find the clerk, Mr. Waits. It seems to be clear. He seems to be a clear-thinking man. Maybe Beauregard? The dark man offered me a prison, and I accepted. I signed that miscarried contract and entered a dark pact. Everyone is safe, except for me. And then some symbols. And a painted tile. Ooh, where could we use this? Perhaps on this box right over here. There we go, and then this is one of those. Fortunately, it isn't a sliding puzzle where we can only, slide stuff around and do it that way. We just place them where we want to put them, which makes things easier.
Have you ever seen anything like this? Looks like a talisman.
You mean like this one?
Can you find me a knife to cut the canvas? I want to take this with me.
You want to take the painting? Sure, I'll find one.
I found this tube as well. Should keep it safe for you. Do you want to carry it, or should I? Miss Hartwood. Emily?
I'll take it. Thank you.
We're done here, right?
I'm not sure. I don't know how to do any of this.
Listen, I think we should talk to Dr. Gray. He must know something about what's going on around here.
Okay. Let's do that.
Come on, I don't want to be here all night.
Detective Carnby? Where did... What on earth is happening? What is this place?
A very good question, Miss Hartwood, and unfortunately the answer will have to wait till next time. So until then, I've been Phoenix Act, and please, take care of yourselves.